Hi there. Yeah, you're wondering. This is let me bring it up. What do you know? Another random show by yours truly, Ben Cornett. What's going on tonight? As you know, last week I did one of these. It turned out pretty well. I got a lot of good responses. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll dip my toes into this pool again. So what's going on, everybody? Um, we're gonna our topics tonight are random. um, let's see. What are we going to start off with? Oh, I know. My Golden Knights. They will uh, play on Friday, game one of the Western Conference Finals, and they will play the Dallas Stars, who defeated the Seattle Kraken in seven. Um, this is going to be a very good matchup. These two teams have been regulars in the conference finals the last few years. The last time they played in a conference final, both of them, was the 2020 season during the pandemic, where they played in the bubble. I believe it was in Calgary or Edmonton. I forget which, but Dallas won that series, I believe, 4 games to 2. This time it's a little different. Dallas's coach, ironically, Pete DeBoer, who coached the Golden Knights back then in 2020, is now the head coach of the Dallas Stars, with Bruce Cassidy as the coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. Came from Boston. Um, yeah, so this is going to be quite a series. I cannot wait. This is, this is for the one of the two spots in the Stanley Cup Finals. Vegas looking to go back there for the first time since their inaugural season back in 2016, 2017, or 2018, I should say. Dallas, they're trying to get back for the first time, I believe, since 2020, where they um, played the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lightning won that year. So a lot on the line. This is for one of those two precious spots in the Stanley Cup Finals. Um, this could go either way. This series is you got really good players on both teams. I'll start with Dallas. Obviously their goalie, Jason Auditor, one of the better ones in hockey, did really, had a great game seven, only allowed one goal. Um, Roop Hentz has been phenomenal in the postseason, along with defenseman Nico, hope I say this right, Hessikinen. I think that's Swedish, or I think he's Swedish. With Max Domi, they got him in a trade, as well as Joe Pavlovsky. Um, Jason Robinson, didn't really have a good second round, but he's still one of the better scorers in hockey. So it's only a matter of time before he steps up. And then you got the Vegas Golden Knights, obviously, Chandler Stevenson, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone. Uh, we got a lot of depth on our team as well on the lines. This is going to be an interesting series because with Brossoit being out, Lawrence Brossoit, who was our starting goalie most of the year, had an injury. We don't know when he's going to come back, but excuse me, Aiden Hill is back. He's got called up a couple games ago. Did a really good job in the closeout game uh, in Game 6 against Edmonton, and it looks like Hill's going to be the guy going forward. Um, you'd probably give the advantage to Ottinger. He's been there longer. Hill's kind of been it's like in his second year, I believe. So for the Golden Knights, they got to be able to, you know, win the battles up front. Puck control, crash the boards. Control their blue line. Um, can't get Jason Robinson going. He's due for a breakout series. Can't have that happen. And Dallas, we're kind of even matched between these two teams. So my hope is that defensively we can, especially if we get penalties on the penalty kill, we got to do a better job. We allow too many goals. in the last series against Edmonton on power plays, with the man down, but at the same time, it's Draisaitl and McDavid. Those are two of the best scorers in the league. So, but still, if Vegas is going to win this series, they got to cut down on the penalties, be aggressive, but not be, going to the box. And if they do go to the box for the 5-on-4, or 4-on-5, I should say, you got to stop the penalty kill. You got to stop them, because Dallas can score. And so this is going to be an interesting series. I cannot wait. Starts Friday night. The other series is Florida and Carolina. That begins tomorrow night. Prediction on that one, I'm going to go Carolina in 7. And, I'm not sounding like a homer, but I think VGK is going to beat Dallas in 7 as well. So I think both series can go 7. So, yeah, that's my take on the Golden Knights and Golden Knights Stars and the Florida Carolina. I haven't watched too much of the Eastern Conference. Your basic headlines: Tampa is not going to be going back to the Stanley Cup Finals. They unfortunately lost, and Toronto to the Maple Leafs in the first round. So, in the Maple Leafs, typical Maple Leafs, got their butts handed to them by Florida in the second round. Carolina's a really good team. Rod Brendamore's done a good job with that team. Former Carolina Hurricane. He won a Stanley Cup, I believe it was 2005 or 2006, something like that. So, yeah, I'm going Vegas, Carolina. That's my Stanley Cup final. That's what I predicted before the playoffs started. So far, so good. We'll see what happens there. We do have a few comments in here. Let me read these up. Scott Daler's first. Thanks, Scott, for tuning in. Let's talk fast cars. Yeah, we could do that. Kyle Yacey, get on this random show. I don't know. I think he's busy right now. My Blues won the Stanley Cup in 2019. That's right. Yeah, that was a very good series. They beat the Boston Bruins in 7 games. Great year for them. Kind of tough time since then, but still, just a few years ago, you got the Stanley Cup. I should get a prize for being the only one here, yeah? Okay, well, your prize is me. You get to see me, and I appreciate you, Scott, for tuning in. Saying, let's talk fast cars. I'm not really much of a car aficionado. My philosophy is I use a vehicle to get from point A to point B. So, but many people like cars. That's great. That's a great hobby. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But that's just not my thing. But yeah, I drive a Dodge Ram truck. So yeah, that's the extent of my vehicle knowledge. I put gas in it and drive from point A to point B. So, Hellcat Red Eye. Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that last night on the entertainment show with me and Johnny Dean. So, yeah. Yep. Oh, man. So, right now, Miami and Boston's playing. I'm not sure what the score is. I just turned it on not too long ago. Miami was leading in that game. Although I have Boston in 6 games, I do have Miami winning this game tonight, winning game 1. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. My Lakers, they lost last night. We'll discuss that. Yeah, it was a tough night for them. Losing to the Nuggets 132 to 126. by, guys. I'm just typing something. Yeah, let me. So anyway, last night my Lakers lost game 1 to Denver. Interesting game. I thought the start of that game pretty much killed us. Denver was up as many as 20 going into halftime. That's always tough to come back from, even though the Lakers cut into that lead and got it to within, I believe, 3. Toward the end of the fourth quarter, they just weren't able to come back and win that game. I knew this series would be tough, just because now you're facing a team that's the Nuggets, I should say, a lot of length at every position. Obviously, Jokic probably, you could argue, probably should have got the MVP. I know Embiid won it, and rightfully so. But I would say the way Embiid performed in that last couple games, probably should give the MVP back to Jokic. But I thought AD did a really good job. He did the best he could. He got a couple blocks on him. But Jokic just shows you how good he is, was able to still get his way. But the biggest key for me was the Lakers were out-rebounded by 17. Everything else, stat-wise, was about even. Free throw shooting, three-point shooting, turnovers. But the rebounds, being out-rebounded by 17 was brutal. You can't win games that way. Denver, like I said, every position, they got a lot of length and size. They can all rebound. For the Lakers, you got, LeBron and AD. They're always going to bring it. The rest of the team, the rest of the starting lineup's not great rebounding wise. Hachimura comes off the bench, give you some rebounds, some boards. But smaller guys like D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, just cannot do that. And I think that's a disadvantage for us. But I thought in the second half, though, Darvin Ham made a good adjustment. He put Hachimura on Jokic defensively, had AD be the backup defensive guy to help out on defense, double team Jokic. So maybe in game 2 they'll go right to that. But I wouldn't even mind having Hachimura even start. I know he comes off the bench, gives him some nice minutes. But at this point, if you're going to beat Denver, you got to match up size-wise, make some adjustments. Now you do lose ball handler and D'Angelo Russell, but LeBron can handle the ball down the court. Even Austin Reeves can. It's just, I feel right now that kind of adjustment would probably help us a lot more than the starting 5, the 2 forwards, 3 guard starting lineup. I don't think that's going to work very well against this Denver team. So that's just my opinion. Hopefully game 2 will make those adjustments like we should and try and even this series up. And I feel like for the Lakers, they have to win this series. They have to win this game to win this series. They can't go down 2-0 against Denver, or I think that's pretty much it. They got to win 4 out of 5 after that, and then at least win one of those on the road. So it would be pretty tough. And that's why tomorrow night I think it's very important that we try and get this win, even the series, and then you got a best of 5, 3 in LA, 2 in Denver. That would really, really be significant for the Lakers, especially if they want to get to the NBA Finals. So those are my random thoughts on that. Let's see. I got some nuggets for Alec. Okay. Christopher Cole, thanks for tuning in, buddy. How you doing tonight? He says the last hockey team from Canada to win the Cup was in 1993 and still counting. That is correct. That was the Montreal Canadiens. with Patrick Waugh as their goalie. Waugh won in Montreal. He also won a Stanley Cup with Colorado. So one of the best goalies of all time. I believe it was the Kings, the LA Kings, that they beat that year in '93. With Wayne Gretzky, he was on that team. Luc Robitaille. Yeah, good team. I was trying to think who the last Canadian team was to make the Stanley Cup final. I believe it was Vancouver back in 2011 or 2012, something like that. I know Boston beat them. So yeah. Team. Scott says, who's the French 7-4 guy that will go in the first round? That's Victor Wembanyama. He's from France, played in pro in Paris. Yeah, he's the projected #1 draft pick. 7'4", shoot the ball, great athleticism. Has played pro ball for the last couple of years. Looks really good. He's only like 19 years old, so he's, from what I've seen, is very, very good. Could be a once in a generation talent. Now, I'll probably have to put on a little muscle, but that'll take time. That'll be fine. He's got time for that. As long as they surround him with some talent on that team, and they coach him up right. He's going to a good organization in the Spurs, assuming that's who they're going to pick. I'm sure Victor's going to be the #1 pick. I don't think you're going to pick like a Brandon Miller or a Scoot Richardson or one of the Thompson brothers to over Victor Wembanyama, So, yeah. But yeah, he's going to be the projected #1 pick, and Spurs got the #1 pick, so good for them. They've done pretty well with #1 picks. David Robinson in '87, Tim Duncan in 1997, and now, assuming it's Victor Wembanyama in 2023. So Spurs, man, sometimes you got to have luck and in the draft, and they've been pretty lucky. So, but they paid off. They've won 5 NBA titles. Robinson won 2 of them. Duncan's won 4 of them, or I think 5 of them, all 5 of them. So, yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna step out for 1 minute. I will be right back. So I will see you guys in a minute. Take a little quick break. Okay, guys, I apologize for that. Had a little situation there. But yeah. So let's see. We got another comment. Scott Spencer, come help Ben Cornett out. Calling out all you pod people. That'd be nice, but I think I got this okay. Yeah, so I just saw that Miami won the game against Boston. Had a feeling that would happen. So Miami leads 1-0, and now on to game 2 Friday night. Lakers Nuggets are tomorrow night. Game 2 there. So I'm going to go Lakers. I think they're going to win game 2, even the series up, and get to LA on Saturday tied up. So with that being said, like I said earlier, I had a little situation, so I'm going to cut this one a little bit short tonight, just because I've got something going on. So, but I want to hop on real quick and do another little random show. I know it's shorter than I would have liked, but I'm going to take care of something, so I don't want to keep going back and forth and wasting time. So I just want to say, catch me tomorrow night, NFL Edition Entertainment. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and have at it Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. You're on the Ben Zone, as well as my other social media handles, my YouTube channel, Ben Cornett 9015, and at BennyBoy702 on Twitter. So I'm going to take off, guys. I just want to do a quick little random show. Thought I'd go a little longer, but I just got another thing going on. But thank you so much for commenting on the show tonight and watching it. Appreciate it. And I will see you guys later on. Take care. Have a good night.